Boom, 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 chickadee, chickadee, chanker. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here with another cheeky little pig breakfast for you. It's actually 1:30 in the afternoon in the UK, but I've not been up too long. So it's my breakfast, and it may be your breakfast wherever you're watching from in the world. Anyway, no more ado. Let's get stuck into this. Let's get cooking. Boom, chanker lads and lasses, how are we all doing today? Let me know you can hear me because I changed some settings before. Hopefully you can. But hope you're all doing good today. Of course, it's the day after Manchester United drawing 2-2 with Southampton at Old Trafford yesterday. A complete freaking calamity Moyes job it was at the end of that game. Still really pissing me off today. But look, we are still in the hunt for the top four. It is still in our hands. I've titled this video, Top 4 Still Ours, because I want to discuss that. I want that to be the talking point of today's show. And I personally think that, it is still in our hands. Even though we've had a complete bloody Moisey melt at the end of that game and drawn the game 2-2, literally last sort of moments of the game we've conceded. Terrible bit of defending. We've put ourselves outside of the top four with that. We should have been third, now we're fifth. Are we still capable of getting top four this season is what I want to ask. And the reasons I think that we can is because if you look at the run-ins that the teams have got, it's favourable to Manchester United. You know Chelsea are going to bottle it at some point soon. They've already done it a couple of times recently. Lamps is a bottle merchant at Chelsea at the moment. And then come on, Brendan Rodgers' son, he's a wonderful technician. But he's having a little bit of a shaky time there. They got battered 4-1 the other day against Bournemouth. So, look at the run-ins. So I just want to just quickly discuss the run-ins, everybody. Chelsea, they have got, of course, they've got to play us in the FA Cup. That's nothing to do with the league, but that's a big game for them. That's not going to help them in the league. Then they've got to play Liverpool away at Anfield on Wednesday the 22nd of July. Tough game. Look, Liverpool will probably roll over and let them have it, to be fair, because they've already won the bloody league. And they'll just be helping out Chelsea rather than helping out United, won't they? So that'll probably happen, but whatever. Then they've got Wolves to play as well. Like, Wolves is a very tricky game. They've got to play Wolves. So I think that what you're going to see is a couple of points dropped there by Chelsea. Now, I don't know if it's going to be against Liverpool. I don't know if it's going to be against Wolves. But all of these teams are good teams that are going to potentially take points off of them. Those are a couple of tough fixtures for Chelsea. I think we'll all agree on that one. Leicester, on the other hand, they've got Sheffield United coming up next. That's not an easy game for them at all, because Sheffield United, we all know how difficult they are to break down and beat. We smashed them up 3-0. But most teams do struggle against them. We saw Chelsea melt against them the other day, for instance. So Leicester have got to play Sheffield United, not an easy game. They've also got a game away against Jose Mourinho's meltbags, Tottenham, who, if it's a good time to play Tottenham, it's now. But either way, Leicester have got to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and play Tottenham. And then they've got us last game of the season. Okay, we're away, but we'll be fighting absolutely at our best. In terms of form, okay, that wasn't a good result against Southampton, but you'd have to say we're looking better than Leicester City right now. And we're getting to the business end of the season where it counts. Hopefully, we'll get to the situation come the last day of the season here, where we've got the game against Leicester, where we don't need a win to secure top four. That's the ideal situation. Hopefully, we can just get a draw or whatever, or maybe Leicester will have melted it all together by then anyway. So, those are the run-ins for those two sides. And then Manchester United, of course, we've got Crystal Palace coming up on Thursday. All of these games are must-win for us, but that's an eminently winnable game, isn't it? Against Roy Hodgson's meltbags, Mrs. Doubtfire melts. Come on. And then we do have a tricky, tough game in the FA Cup against Chelsea. But, I personally think that we've got a good shot in the Europa of getting Champions League football that way as well. We should be focusing on the league. I would make a couple of changes if I'm Ole Gunnar for the Chelsea game, because it's just a quick succession after the Palace game. But then we're at home to David Moyes' West Ham meltbags, and he's going to do us a favour. And then that last game of the season against Leicester. So I think out of all those teams that are going for the top four is still ours because we have the best run and we're more likely to pick up maximum points than the other two. Simple as that, my friends. But anyway, I hope you're all doing fantastically well today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Get involved. I can see there's a bunch of you in here. Let me just give this a cheeky little refreshment. Mrs. P's in here. Olivia's in here. JP's in here. Gungshi's in here. Great to see you. Kyle Fury, lad. What an absolute hero. It's been ages since I've seen you on the channel, Kyle. I hope you're doing well. He says, I hope Chelsea drop points. I want to see either Wolves or Sheffield United in the Champions League. Exactly, my friend. I think those two teams would deserve it more, but it's going to be difficult for them to get in there because if we do look at the league table as it stands, Sheffield United are currently a point behind Wolves. Wolves are 4 points behind Manchester United, who are a point behind Chelsea. So I don't know. It could happen. Look, if Wolves do win that game, then that opens things wide open for Wolves. So yeah, good shout, my friend. And you know, Sheffield United have got to play them too. Thank you so much to you all for getting in here and stopping by. Great to see so many familiar faces in here for this pig breakfast, which is obviously not a pig breakfast. It's actually in the afternoon, but whatever time, it might be breakfast time wherever it is you're watching from. So there you go. But anyway, let's just talk a little bit more quickly before we dive back into the comment section. But it's great to have you all in here. Shout out from Sydney, Australia to Euro Sydney. Ice Queen Gaming as well. Olivia Alves. Neil Duffinator from Amsterdam over in Holland. Legend. Harry Hewitson as well. Everybody, thanks for stopping by. The game yesterday then, what an absolute meltbag. It was a nightmare. We just needed to hang on, get the 3 points, cement our place in third place in the league. But what did we do? We somehow managed to find a way to melt it at the end. And of course, we could talk about De Gea being a meltbag at the start of the game, but let's just talk about that last sequence of events there. They've got the corner. And we've got to deal with it better. I mean, to be fair, Harry Maguire, that £80 million slab of bloody concrete out there, he got off lightly yesterday because I didn't really see, because I was too busy going freaking mental at what I just seen, the goal conceded and Lindelof having a flap on the goal line and it just been a complete calamity, that I actually missed Slabby Maguire climbing all over Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's marking his own bloody player. Is our £80 million in the back? What's he doing? It's again, he's had a nightmare. I thought, look, Lindelof and Maguire's done a good job throughout that entire game. For 95 minutes of the game, but they've both had a hand in an absolute freaking melt job at the end. It's not good enough. It's characteristic from then. It's just a lapse in concentration. It's piss poor defending. It's amateur stuff. You cannot be doing this. Lindelof on the line too, shocking stuff. But Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, I mean, are they even really good enough for Manchester United centre-backs now? Now, I'm not writing them off after one game. Look, we've been doing all right recently, winning games. But who's making the errors in this team? You know, who is actually making the errors in this team? It's David De Gea. It's Victor Lindelof usually. Not since coming back from lockdown, to be fair to him, apart from this one. He's been good, actually. But before that, for the start of the season, it was Victor. And Slabby Maguire's been doing it sort of quite consistently throughout. Now, it's a problem area all of a sudden for Manchester United. We thought we had that sort of position set. We thought we had our £80 million man. We thought we had Victor Lindelof coming in. We thought we had Eric Bailly coming back into it. He could maybe be the man. But maybe United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should actually be looking at getting at least one centre-back in the summer transfer window, because I think that's a problem area for United. We need to look at strengthening there. I don't think Victor Lindelof's ever truly, really going to be the top-class centre-back that we need at Manchester United. And I'm not saying that he's not a good player. He is a good player. He showed that yesterday for 95 minutes. He was brilliant, actually. He barely put a foot wrong. But he does make stupid errors. He doesn't read the game as well as I like. And, you know, it's a far cry from the Rio and Village, the fact we've got Maguire and Lindelof. So what do you guys think about that? Are we being a little bit harsh on Lindelof here? Because he did defend very well for most of the game. He's just had a nightmare towards the end of it. Same goes for Harry Maguire. But it's too often that these errors are creeping in my opinion. Josh Healy comments, we need Twanzebe to get fit. That's a very good point you bring up there, Josh, because Twanzebe's a young player. Twanzebe's shown every time that I've seen him play in United first team, which isn't that many times, that he's a comfortable player. He slots in there. And I think he's a very good player with a big future ahead of him. So you might be onto something there, Josh. You actually really might. Maybe we should just have a look at him. Because he's got more potential, I think, than a lot of the other players that we're talking about right now. I think Lindelof's never going to be a world-class centre-back, in my opinion. And Harry Maguire, I'm hoping that he can do it, but there's just too many errors from the guy. And it's costing us big time all over the place. I mean, look, the fact is, I've said it yesterday, but the fact is, if we don't make those two defensive mistakes, we win that game. And you can't be making two mistakes like that in a game. You're just going to put yourself at odds every single time you go out there. So it's piss poor, everyone. Eric Hahn, how you doing, Eric? He says, no matter what Lindelof does, people will always blame him over Maguire. Well, I think, it's kind of, you make an interesting point, actually, to be fair. But I would say they deserve equal blame over the course of the season for the amount of errors that they've made. They've both made quite a handful of errors. They were both at fault for the goal yesterday that we conceded at the end there. So I'm not singling one out more than the other. I just think the reason maybe that is because Harry Maguire seems to have a better potential and better defensive abilities when it comes to things like heading the ball away and aerial battles and things like that. Not saying Victor's not good, but I just don't think he's great top level, whereas Harry Maguire is. Now, Victor seems very good on the ball, passing it around and stuff like that, but so's Harry Maguire. So I think people think that Harry Maguire's just a bit of a better player. He's just not showing it right now. So maybe that's a reason for that. But Beats produced by CM comments, Maguire's been average, so I think we can't really deny that he's not lived up to it so far for United. It's his first season, it's a tough season coming in. United are not in the best period. It's not like he's coming to a winning team. It's taken us a while to get into the sort of form that we're showing really at the moment. We're unbeaten in 18 games now? So that's not bad. Look, we drew against Southampton. It's a poor result at the end. What a horrible way to drop the 2 points, getting done at the end of the game. But you have to remember, they didn't come in. Harry Maguire didn't come into this side in a proper great vein of form for the club. We're not up there winning things. So I think it was always going to be a difficult transitional period for him and coming into United from Leicester City there. But he's got to start doing better. He's had plenty of time now. I mean, we're talking about it's July. He's almost been at the club a year now. I know there's this lockdown business in it and stuff, but he's got to start performing and living up to that price tag of 80 million quid. If you're an 80 million pound centre-back, you better believe you're going to be one of the best centre-backs in the world. Otherwise, it's a flop and a half, isn't it? And at the moment, it's not quite working out for Harry Maguire. JP comments, bring back Smalling. Hey, look, Smalling, we could do worse than Chris Smalling. I'm telling you now, Chris Smalling is a decent player. He's actually a decent player, and he's proven that over in a decent league. Abbas Hassani doesn't think the bench is very good. I mean, if you look at the problems with the next game, so let's just talk about Palace for a second. We should be smashing up Crystal Palace, but we've got a couple of injury issues now. We saw a little bit of fatigue creeping into some of the players yesterday as well. I think Luke Shaw looked tired, obviously picked up an injury anyway. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka looked tired, didn't look his characteristic, awesome, unbelievable spider self. I think, Pogba was looking tired, which is why he was taken off after 62 minutes. He was getting a little bit slow and breathing a bit heavy. And I just think some of these players, they played quite a bit of football recently. And before that, they had a good break and they had a good rest, but they didn't necessarily get that match sharpness. They still haven't necessarily got that match sharpness even now, because we're only a few games back into it, really. But yeah, I mean, he's been playing them regularly. They have been getting their fitness up. I think that's a bit of a concern. And then we've got injury issues like we've discussed now. So what do we do? Do we play Lindelof at left back? Do we play Bailly centre back along with Maguire? Or do you play Dalot, maybe left back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back, and have the same sort of centre back pairing? Because that's an issue now. Brandon Williams may be out. Luke Shaw is looking likely to be out. So there's a bit of a concern at the back now for Manchester United's backline. Kyle Fury says, how about Ashley Clunge? Ashley Young, I mean, oh my days, I don't know about that one. Fair play to you, though. Gungshi comments, Pogba and Bruno both look slow and tired. Yet Bruno got taken off towards the end of the game. Some people were criticising that. But I thought that, look, he's looking a little bit fatigued. They're playing a lot of minutes, these guys. And they're really working their socks off, especially people like Bruno. And, the temperatures are warmer than they usually are in England and things. I'm not saying, the lads from Portugal, I'm not saying that's really a factor. But it is the middle of summer, it can get a bit muggy out there. And they're working their socks off. So they're going to get fatigued. Some of these players need a little bit of rest. Thank you for your comment there, Gungers. JP says Southampton crippling Greenwood and wiping out Williams. To be fair, yeah, they were disgustingly bad out there. The behaviour of Southampton, the dirtiness of the team, absolute freaking scumbags. They call themselves the Saints. More like the bloody sinners, man. It was a disgrace. If only we had a sin bin, they'd have had all bloody 11 players in there at one stage of tossers. So that was wrong. But yeah, Greenwood did have a quiet game. He was sort of out of the game. Debbie Elder says, nothing like getting ready for work with the pig. Shout out to you, Debbie. Shout out to all the North American viewers. Shout out to all the viewers around the world, Aussie viewers, anybody in Asia, wherever you are tuning in. Thanks for watching. Like I was saying, it is a breakfast for you, Debbie. Like for me, it's lunchtime. Even getting on for like afternoon tea. But for you guys, some of you guys, It's breakfast still. Thank you, Mrs. P, for the super chat. She says, looking very smart, Mr. P. See you soon, legend. Thank you so much, darling. Yes, see, she's on her way over shortly. So, see you soon, darling. Thank you very much for that. Gungshi comments, in hindsight, maybe Ollie shouldn't have started with the same team. Well, in hindsight, you might be right, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, my friend. And we were all saying beforehand, he knows his team. I personally like when a manager knows his best team and has that consistency within the side and the faith in the team to select the same players week in, week out. And because of the 5 substitute rule we've got at the moment, I think that's actually what he should do. Get the job done, then use the 5 substitutions to then rest a couple of players that are looking the most fatigued out there. Put your best players out there first, effectively. We see it a lot of the time in cup games, don't we? United shuffling the pack. We play our second string team, our B team, if you like, and then what do? Well, we go one down or something. We've got to call on all the big guns anyway. We've got 3 on there, but now we're at a disadvantage. So, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. KM Leong says, yesterday most players didn't play well. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's frustrating because there still were some good performances in there. I think Rashford's had a good game, missing that sitter aside. I think Martial's had a top game up there, man. I felt really bad for Martial at the end, seeing him sort of trudge off the pitch after he set one up and scored one and generally had a good game, hoping to get 3rd place in the league. And I like that. I like the frustration. I like that they're so distraught about it, you know. They should be, because I was absolutely gutted when that goal went in. I couldn't believe it. Talk about deflated. Stephen United thinks Shaw was one of the best players on the pitch before he got injured. I thought Shaw, you know, was okay. I'm not going to lie, I didn't think I wasn't blown away by Shaw, if I'm being totally honest with you, but he's had a really good run of form recently. And yes, he was doing all right before he got taken off. KM says, Pig, Luke Shaw is fine. He drove to training day. Oh, spot on. KM, the man with the information, the man in the know. Thank you, KM, lad. That's brilliant then. So we're going to have Luke Shaw back in the team because it did look like he rolled his ankle. Maybe there'd be a little swelling or something going on, but it looks like maybe he will be playing in that Crystal Palace game then. Get in there, my son. But we've got to smash Palace now. There's no room for any mistakes. We've got to smash Palace. We've got to win all the remaining games, of course, if we're going to get top 4. What do you guys think, quickly, before we wrap this pig breakfast up, what do you guys think about our chances of getting top 4? Bear in mind the run-ins of the other teams. This was a blip against Southampton, hopefully. It's still in our hands. Top 4 is in our hands, lads and lasses. Do us a favour if you're watching this video as well and you haven't done so already. Smash that thumbs up button, lads and lasses. Please do give it a cheeky little like if you're tuning in and enjoying this video and enjoying this series, The Pig Breakfast. It's at an unpredictable time every day. And it's not even every day, but when it is, you don't know what it's going to be. That's what's amazing. That's what's mysterious about it. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. And also, we've got a... oh, look at this. We've got a PayPal here from Gungshi. Of course, who else could it be? It's the Mr. Gungshi over in Taiwan. Thank you, Gungers. What a top man, he says. Pig, that was gashtastique from the boys last night. I reckon Ollie may need to think about a new defender or 2. Maguire and Lindelof have been very inconsistent since they came in. Really no better than Mike Smalldong. Mike Smalldong. Oh my days, if ever there was a porn star name. Hey Gungshi, thank you so much for the PayPal there, and thank you so much for getting your say. Yes, you might be right. I think it's a problem area for United. We've got to look at a centre-back in the summer. Now, we were talking about Nathan Ake the other day. He's a good young centre-back, but I want somebody properly peak at the peak of their levels, you know. I want, you know, people talk about Koulibaly, 29 years of age, in the right era. We could get 2 or 3 top quality seasons out of a top quality physical defender like him. And he's going to come in there, he's going to clear your balls away, and he's going to defend. He's a solid defender. Now, is there a transitional period? Is it a guarantee that he'll come into the Premier League and take to it like a duck to water and all that? No, there isn't. So there is a gamble associated with it, and it doesn't really fit in with what Ollie and the club are actually trying to do right now, which is not going out there signing big marquee names. It's signing some of the players that are coming up, which is why I think we're probably more likely to get Grealish, Ake, and also maybe Jadon Sancho come the end of the window, and just those 3 players. But, you know, we would take that, to be fair. Last Avenger says Declan Rice is our new centre-back. I mean, I don't know about that, maybe. Declan Rice is a player that's been talked about as coming to Manchester United, potentially, so there's lots of players linked with the club, though. Right then, lads and lasses, what a bunch of legends. Get your last couple of comments in and then we'll wrap this one up. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come back once this is finished as well. We're just trying to keep these around 20 minutes. Come back once this is finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in. I'll respond to you on there and so can everybody else. So if I've not responded to you in this video, understand that I would love to respond to you. I've just got a lot to say and we try to keep it short, these ones. So thanks to everybody that gets in and watches, though. You're a bunch of bloody heroes. William Hoy says, it seems our boys are tired. Yeah, I think they're seeing a little bit of fatigue. Maybe Ollie's going to have to mix things around a little bit for the Crystal Palace game. What do you guys reckon? Eric Hunt says, according to Saeed, Maguire is better than Virgil van Dijk. So no, well, okay. Yeah, I don't think he's better than Virgil van Dijk at this stage. He's got a long way to go to do that. I don't want to praise Liverpool players, but he is one of the best centre-backs in the world. And Maguire has potential. He's still only 26, but he's not there yet, is he? Abbas Hassani says, if Aki is good, why is Bournemouth is 90? Well, you can't really blame one player on the position of the football club. I think it's just overall as a team they've melted. They've had problems this season, Bournemouth. Some players not even wanted to bloody play for them, and Eddie Howe saying as much. And, you know, it's not been a great season for Bournemouth behind the scenes, I don't think. But he's been a good player amongst them. He's shone amongst them. Don't get me wrong, they've conceded a lot of goals. And he is a centre-back, but it's hard to really shine in a team like that. But he's done a good job of looking good. Did you see that tackle he made the other day, that block where he's got himself injured? You know, that's a fantastic block. He did injure himself. Thank you, Sam Hopkins, for the super chat, mate. He says, blaming players is stupid. We're still on sick form. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've got to look at some of the players that are repeatedly making errors in the side, though. Like, the team performance wasn't good enough yesterday. I agree with you, Sam. Like, overall as a team, the tactics weren't good. I don't like how we dropped off at the end of the game. I don't like how we were slow to start and we allowed Southampton just to have it at times. But individually, there are players making the same errors too often. People like De Gea, Maguire, Lindelof. It's familiar names, Sam, so we do have to talk about it because some of these players shouldn't. You've got to play at a more consistent, higher level if you're representing Manchester United week in, week out. We do not accept mediocrity at this football club. We shouldn't anyway, and that is unfortunately what you're seeing. Thank you, KM. He says, smash a like on the video with some of the errors that's happening. But thank you for your super chat there, Sam Hopkins. Right, okay then, you bloody bunch of legends. I'm going to wrap this video up now, but thank you so much for tuning in. Come back in a minute's time when this is finished and have your say. Get your thoughts in about anything we've discussed. Do you think we can get top four? Who do you think was most at fault yesterday for United's performance? Was it just a bad team performance? Was it Rashford for missing a sitter or Martial for not taking one of his other chances? Obviously not. Or was it Maguire, Lindelof? Was it Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with his selection? You know, I want to know what your opinions are. They're not the same as my opinions, a lot of them, but I want to hear them anyway. That's the beauty of football fans. All right then, guys. Neil Duffin, have a great day, mate. JP, Stephen United, Eric Khan, KM Ali, Gungshinator. Yes, kick them up the arse, Gungshi. Hopefully we smash Crystal Palace now. We just need to breeze past Crystal Palace. We don't need any squeaky bum time against Crystal Palace. And that's what it is now. We've got to the squeaky end of the season. It's squeaky bum time now. William Hoy, Gungers, have a great day, everyone. Sorry, JP, I've got to go, mate. Got to eat my breakfast. It's been sizzling away. All right, then, guys, have a good one. This is the big. I'll see you on the next one. Come back and let me know your thoughts. Chuck a little like on it. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. Check out the Facebook page, Flying Pig United. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at Mr. Flying Pig HD. You have yourself a cracking day. This is the pig saying, see you soon, and take it easy. And come on, United, sort your bloody lives out. We're going to be fair, I think we're going to smash Crystal Palace, aren't we? Get your predictions in for that game too, lads and lasses. I love to hear it. I think I'm going for 5-0. I'm going for reaction against Mrs. Doubtfire Melts. All right, then. See you on the next one. Take it easy. This is the pig. I'm out. Crikey, what have we done? We've gone for 25 minutes. That was not the intention. But either way, that's fine. We're just trying to do a regular 20-minute series, you know what I mean? So everyone knows the length of it. And it's just a nice, short, concise little vid. But it always turns out I just ramble on, don't I? Shout out to all these guys. We've got a couple more people to add to this. Don't you think I've forgotten you? I will be adding you very, very soon. But Alex Rudd, Alex Rincon, Matt Norton, Lucinda Green, Robbo, Liam White, Gungshi, Jarvis Cocker, Pete Miller, Wallace Moncrief Stewart, Marshall Grella, The Saint, Steve Johnson, Red Devil United 77, Sev the Panda, Mark Dolman, Eddie Rouse, Ian Greenall, Bones Brigade 2020, Morgan Freeperson, Rio GV, Matt Rush, Nick Suberling, John Hinton, Michael Blake, Ryan Burberspin, 9, Matty Lewis, Collective Force Lobby, Jedi, Devil of a Red, Ice Queen Gaming, Cantonar7, Sam Hopkins, Griffo Jazz, and Tom Jackson. So thank you to all you guys for tuning in and watching and being supporters of the show. Shout out G-Wolf at the end getting in here. Any FIFA coming this week, Don Piglioni will have some FIFA for you, Gungshi. Don't you worry about that, my friend. Keep a lookout on the gaming channel, though. They'll all be on the gaming channel from now on. Have a great day, all. See you soon. This is the big...